right, here we go in three, two. You know what time it is? It's This Week in Sports. It's been a couple weeks, been super busy, but a lot has happened. Oilers just comeback win against the San Jose Sharks, leapfrogging into second place. The MLB season is starting just around the corner. The Raptors clinch, and some other things, and a legend returns this weekend upcoming. But let's start off with the Edmonton Oilers. Come from behind win this past evening against the San Jose Sharks. We were down 1-0. It was a tight game, uh, really close. San Jose had the lead for most of the game, the single goal lead, and then in the third period, Nugent Hopkins finds a way to tie it up. Shorthanded, actually, it was a shorthanded goal late in the third period. It was quite the setup. It was a turnover by the Sharks. We kept it in their zone. Nurse and I think it was Hyman with the setup to Nuge, and he buried it on the doorstep to tie up the game, and then it went into overtime. And their goalie kept the play going after we shot on him. They came back the other way in a 2-on-1/2-on-2, and as soon as Mike Smith made the glove save, he put it down onto his stick and shoveled the puck up into the middle of the ice, where McDavid was screeching down the center ice past Burns. Burns was racing to the puck as well, but you're not going to beat McDavid. McDavid all alone finishes it off with the backhand. Beauty, come from behind win, and we leapfrog the LA Kings to go into second place in our division. So if the season were to stop now, we'd have home ice advantage, which would be mint. It looks like we're going to be playing the LA Kings, just based on where we are in the standings and how far the Golden Knights are behind the Kings now. So if it is the Kings that we're playing, obviously home ice advantage would be huge, especially for us, man, because we all know how it gets here in Edmonton when it's playoff time, and that's just like a month around the corner. So we're going to be recording a lot more. We won't be taking time off like we have been in the last couple of weeks. We'll be squeezing these in wherever we can, whenever we can, especially when we're coming up to the playoffs here. We might even do it like every game. We'll do a few minutes hyping up the game or talking about the previous game when it comes down to the playoffs, when it comes down to the drive here, because these games are super important. So yeah, I'm super excited. Also, in this past week in sports, Draisaitl scored his 50th goal. Give him some love. And he's only the 24th player in NHL history to have multiple 50-goal seasons and 100-point seasons in the same year. He's done it twice now. He did it back in 19. He had 50-goal season. And this year, he does it again. And it's actually quite astonishing. I mean, before he did it that first time, I don't think a player did it in my lifetime for the Oilers. So Draisaitl was the first player, well, at least since the 90s, to score 50 for the Oilers. So the fact that he's done it twice is amazing. Unfortunately, he kind of tweaked his, looked like his knee last game a little bit. So he actually played through the pain at the end of the game, last game, against, who was it, Anaheim. But he was a late scratch in today's game against the Sharks. I guess he went out for the morning skate, and he was looking all right, and everyone thought that he was gonna play. But I guess right before game time, they decided it was best to keep him out. So that ended a streak of 354 games that he played in a row.
Wow.
But yeah, which is pretty bad. It's like how many seasons, right? And so it's unfortunate that that streak came to an end of consecutive games played. But I mean, you're not gonna fucking re-aggravate an injury or get it worse, right? You know what I mean? Like you can't have that going down the stretch. So it was probably a good idea that they scratched him and kept him out tonight. And it's ironic that it's such a low scoring game, not having him in there, the 50 goal score. but we found a way to win. And I mean, if you got McDavid on your team, you always have a chance. And Smitty, actually, speaking of playing through an injury, he kind of tweaked his leg too late in the game, and it almost looked like he was going to be taken out for Koski, but it was like a minute and a half left in the period, and he toughed it out, and you could tell that he was kind of in pain because the way he kind of like was tentative on it, but he was able to make those last few saves and assist on the game-winning goal in overtime. So hopefully Smitty isn't hurt, and hopefully Draisaitl is able to come back next game against LA, which is ironic. This is going to be the biggest game of the year. We play LA on Thursday in Los Angeles, and whoever wins this game in regulation will be second place because they're 1 point behind us now. So huge game. If we beat them, we'll be up 3 points on them and looking really good with 10 to go. So that's on Thursday. Hopefully, yeah, we take that one. And oh my God, this weekend's gonna be the shit. Like we're gonna have to record maybe during the weekend or right after the weekend because there's gonna be the Oilers that game on Thursday. The the Jays open up on Friday.
Jeez.
Yeah, the Jays opened up on Friday, and then I'll get to that in a sec here. But huge fucking news in the sporting world. Huge news. Tiger Woods is set to play this weekend at the Masters. 14 months after getting into a huge car accident and almost losing his leg, had to be taken out of the vehicle in the ditch that after it rolled by the jaws of life. And he's back playing at the Masters with titanium rods in his leg holding it together. And he says in his interview, he would mention that he can hitting the ball is fine. When he hits the ball, it's all good. It feels good. I guess he was crushing it at like 170 miles an hour. Freaking crazy. And but he said walking is the issue. That's the only issue is walking. So the guy
You only got to hit the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Walking's not a part of the sport.
Well, that's something. It's funny you bring that up. My boy Billy Burr. I listen to him all the time, and he mentioned like, why don't these golfers? Why are they so cheap? Why don't they just get golf carts? It's a funny take, but I think yeah, it is interesting that they just walk everywhere. But I mean that's why you got a caddy, right? So yeah, if he returns like this weekend, like I'm actually gonna go watch the first round of the Masters just to see his return, and if he makes the cut for the weekend, the ratings this weekend are gonna be through the fucking roof, man. I'm gonna be I'll be watching the Masters on Sunday and the Blue Jays game, flipping back and forth. If Tiger's on there though, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be glued to the TV on Sunday. If Tiger's like in contention to win, oh my goodness, that'd be one of the biggest stories of the year. Not just in sports, but just the guy's a Terminator. Like how many times he gets injured, something happens, and he returns and he keeps winning. He's one of the best athletes of all time. Like no one in any sport has been taken out so often, so many times, and returned at the same level and winning over and over. Like Tiger's one of the best, so I'll be cheering for him if in fact he does play, and I'll be watching Thursday when he opens up. Friday it's going to be all about the Jays. I'll be watching the Jays, and then hopefully Tiger makes the cut, and then I'll be watching him all weekend. But yeah, the Jays opening day Friday, MLB season. I think the season actually starts on Thursday for some teams, but the Jays play Friday against the Texas Rangers at home in Toronto for the first time since 2019. They're having a home opener in Toronto.
Damn.
3 years. Yeah, I was there last year when they came back to Toronto for the first time, but that was mid-season. This is the first time opening a season in Toronto, and a lot of these guys, a lot of the new guys, haven't experienced an opening day sellout. First of all, right? Because
Yeah.
they've never experienced a sellout in Toronto, and so they're going to experience. A lot of these guys are going to experience this for the first time, especially well, obviously our new guys. And oh my goodness, I cannot wait. If I had one wish, it would be to be able to go Toronto and get a ticket for Friday's game.
How much are tickets for that thing?
I don't know. You can probably get upper deck for. I mean, I got into a playoff game for $66.
Okay.
So, but that was like quote unquote partially blocked, but it wasn't even a thing, right?
Yeah.
And so you could probably get tickets for you could probably get in the building for up on the 500 level for 50, but they're probably also like close to sold out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to like go to resale sites or something. Oh yeah, actually that's what I heard. I guess there was only 9 tickets left the other day out of like a 50,000 seat place. There's only 9 tickets on Ticketmaster left,
Damn.
and so obviously those are eaten up. So you'd have to go to like StubHub or something like that, or do what I did when I went there, just hang around Rogers Place all day and try to find a way in there. Um, but yeah, Friday is going to be huge. I got to get my jersey dry cleaned because it's got all last year's greasy stains on it, and
You need a blank slate for this year's greasy stains.
yeah, that's right. That's right. I can't be bringing last year's greasy stains into this year. Can't have it. Can't have it. So I think I'm going to go get that dry cleaned tomorrow, and then pick it up before Friday because tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah. So yeah, get that dry cleaned before Friday because I'm so excited to be rocking that all season long. So go Jays, go baby! I'm freaking stoked. So stoked. Oh, and then also like this is going to be like the best like few weeks of the year. The Raptors just clinched a playoff spot. They clinched in the top 6, guaranteeing them a playoff spot, so they don't have to do a play-in game or a play-in round. They guaranteed their spot. Show some love. We got this one right here. Yes. The Raptors are in. So that the NBA playoffs starts. The play-in round starts next week. So the actual first round starts. I think at the end of next week. So go Raptors, go! Hopefully, it looks like we're playing Philadelphia, and we're actually going to be playing them tomorrow in the regular season, for the last time in the regular season. So kind of get an idea of how we play against them, because that would probably be our opponent come the playoff, the first round. Speaking of the Raptors, though, this past week in sports, Kyle Lowry returned, first time in Toronto since being traded. Obviously, because we played in the bubble and then we played down south in Tampa, and so Lowry had a huge reception. Uh, the mayor of Toronto made it. Oh shit! Dropping shit here. The mayor of Toronto made that the day he returned official, the Kyle Lowry Day. It was a huge event in Toronto. They gave him a standing ovation. Obviously, there were signs everywhere. He came in the building rocking his 2019 championship ring.
Nice.
Yes, like I was flossing. He was holding it he was wearing it in the interview, holding the mic, representing, right. So here's to Kyle Lowry, man. Thanks for the championship.
Be the North.
Mm-hmm. We the North. Damn. So
There's too much too many sports. Many sports, man.
Oh, so much going on. Not enough sports. Like, oh, it's just the sad thing about not having cable though, because when you have cable, you can like switch really quickly, right? But when you're on these streaming services, like you can't really switch, right? You can't really switch game to game, which is a major downside to the streaming, and a huge upside to having the actual cable, the old school cable, where you just like switch back and forth real quick. But this weekend, I think I'm gonna go over to the parents, pay them a visit, watch the Masters with pops there, and flip back and forth on depending what Tiger does. I might be there like every day, but yeah. So Thursday, yeah, there's that. Friday is gonna be Blue Jays. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for that. And then yeah, like I said, next week the Raptors are gonna be in the playoffs. So yeah, this whole week is gonna be crazy. At the very least, oh man, I want to record this weekend, but then I want to record like if Tiger wins, we're gonna have to record like that Monday or maybe that Sunday night or something, because that'll be freaking insane, man. But that I mean, it is his like first round back, and so I mean, obviously expecting him to win is obviously a long shot, but I mean.
But he's bionic.
Yeah, and you can't doubt Tiger. You can't. So yeah, I mean, it'd be quite incredible. Uh, Also, on another note, this past week in sports history, or no, this week in sports, we'll go to this week in sports history in a bit here. But in this week in sports entertainment, we'll call it TWIS. This week in sports entertainment, WrestleMania 38 happened,
Woo!
and the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin took place too, which I actually we actually rented and were able to watch. And holy shit, was that ever intense? I wish we had the Stone Cold theme on the board. That
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
yeah, what that wasn't it. What the fuck is
No,
that?
that's John Cena.
Yeah, no, it's like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun.
I remember all this from WWE on the N64.
Yeah. WrestleMania 2000 or whatever it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Or I think it was just called Raw, though. There was the one that was Raw.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, WWF Raw.
Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that game.
I think that might have been for Xbox. That one.
Really?
The Raw one, yeah. The N64 one was No Mercy, WWF
No Mercy.
No Mercy.
That's the one.
And WrestleMania 2000 is the one that
Dude,
we
I
played.
played so much
Oh,
No Mercy.
and then we also played WCW versus NWO.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So there was those three that we fucking.
There was more like surprise weapons you could bring out in WCW. Because you go like backstage and shit in that one.
Yeah.
But No Mercy, there was more like character customization.
There was a lot and the different matches and shit.
Yeah.
And like a different like a in-depth story on No Mercy. No Mercy, everyone played No Mercy, man.
No Mercy is legendary.
No Mercy was the shit, bro. I'd still play that today.
Yeah.
But I guess 2K22, WWE 2K22 for like the new system is like the best one they made. So
finally.
Well, they took a year off.
Yeah.
Because 20, I guess I don't remember if I played 20 or not, but it was shit.
I never played it obviously, but I watched videos about it, and it's just so glitchy.
I was about to say the glitches, man.
Yeah.
You'd see like the
and yeah,
you would
like
see
characters
shit
are
that
moving like they did in No Mercy. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, you would like defy physics. Like people would, the glitches were so fucking random, and they would just completely destroy like the experience of the game. So I guess they took a year off. They didn't release the 21, and that was probably the best thing 2K has done outside of the NBA franchise is take a year off for WWE and make an actual full complete game. Because I've heard nothing but good things about the new one. And if you just look at it,
Graphically, it looks amazing.
yeah, it looks phenomenal, and the gameplay looks smooth. If you watch gameplay videos, it looks smooth. It looks easy to do moves, and like you can do finishers in a bunch of different ways too. So it's not just limited to use like standing face to face and to do the finisher. You can do it like off the ropes in certain ways, or you can utilize like the turnbuckle and things like that to do your finishers. So yeah, good on them. Good on 2K for taking a year off to make and realizing like, yo, we fucked up last game. We listened to the fans, right? We didn't make a good game, so let's take a year off. Let's regroup and let's make a full game. Because I mean, there's nothing worse than these games these sports games that get released year after year, and not only not only staying stagnant, but also getting worse. And that's what 2K was. That's what the wrestling games seem to be doing. They were getting worse progressively. So, you don't want that, especially if you're dishing out $80 a year. But it's like a subscription fee for these games. These
yeah, legit. Yeah,
it really
you're
is.
buying it every single year.
Yeah,
it's like buying a year of Netflix.
it is. Well, for real, and that's kind of why. Like I don't know. I stopped for a couple of years buying NHL there. It's kind of silly. The reason why I didn't buy this year's because Austin Matthews was on it again, but he was on it like a year ago, so he was on it like 2 times in 3 years or whatever, and so I was like, fuck that.
Skip it.
Even though Matthews just like I don't talk a lot of Leafs talk on here, but he just had a hat trick last night and he has 54 goals this year.
Anyways, back to Stone Cold.
Back to Stone Cold, yeah. So WrestleMania 38 is a 2-day event, Saturday and the Sunday. I looked at the card and I seen that Stone Cold was gonna come back on the Saturday, so we just decided to rent the Saturday. And there's so many new guys in WWE, like I don't even know like 75 or 80% of them,
They
right?
all got their gimmicks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some good guys. There's some good guys. There's some high flyers. There's some big tough guys. There's some good ones, but it's I don't know if it'll ever be that attitude era. And so like I didn't know a lot of the matches. I didn't have any stake in most of the matches, but at the end there, Kevin Owens had his little. I think he calls it the KO show, and so he has a couple of seats set up in the ring, a couple little signs, and then he's just talking. He's been talking shit about Stone Cold in like the state of Texas for like the last like couple months, right? And like he's challenging Stone Cold. So Stone Cold was like, okay, well, I'll see you at WrestleMania, and he freaking comes out, the glass shatters, the place explodes. You should see some of these YouTube videos of like people like recording it on their phones. Holy like from the upper deck. Dude, it's a spectacle, man. It's a freaking people lose their mind when Stone Cold comes out. And so he comes out, they talk some shit on the mic back and forth on the KO show. And then freaking Stone Cold gets mad, throws the chair at him, throws the freaking signs out. Oh yeah, they Kevin Owens challenges him to a no holds barred match. So none of us expected Stone Cold to actually fight in the match. I thought we were just gonna go out there and fuck up KO a little bit, right? But they actually did a full blown no holds barred match. They went into the crowd. They're wrestling in the crowd. They came back to the ring. They went up on the stage, like all the way up on the ramp. On one side of the stage, he did a suplex. Went to the other side of the stage, did a suplex. Came back to the ring. Oh my God, messing up. Freaking Stone Cold stunned him. 1, 2, 3. He did the whole beat. Oh my goodness, it was so hype. Me and my cousin were just like screaming at the TV. We were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. This is so nuts." He's doing the classic beer thing at the end, just crashing him. And what I kind of regret is not watching the Sunday because I guess I had a feeling that he was gonna come back on the Sunday as well, and sure enough, he did. And like in crazy, just as crazy fashion as well. Like I guess he came out when Vince had a match, and went to Stunner.
McMahon?
Yeah, yeah, went
The
to
fuck, Vince McMahon's like 70 years
yeah.
old.
Vince McMahon's 74 years old, bro,
What?
and he had a match, and oh, it's funny. It was freaking hilarious when he got stunnered. It was like the most botched stunner ever. But I think that was like kind of they're kind of playing on that, and so it was the most brutal stunner that he gave to Vince, and then this new cat Pat McAfee, who's got like a show, a sports talk show. He had a match as well. He's quite athletic. The guy's a former NFL punter and huge wrestling fan, and so he had a match against some new guy too. And then Stone Cold came out and had some beers with McAfee, and then stunnered him, and then Pat like did the best sell, like he had the beer in his mouth, and then he got stunnered, and then he like blew the beer out, and yeah, and fell. Like it was one of the best. Like Vince had like one of the worst stunners, and then Pat McAfee had like one of the best stunners I've ever seen, and so it was quite iconic. And I've been trying to like watch as many YouTube videos as I can, but like WWE like shuts that shit down. Like they're quite on top of it as far as like the YouTube videos and WrestleMania is concerned.
Well,
So,
I was gonna try to do some digging tonight to watch some of that.
well, you can they don't take down like the fan videos, right?
Yeah.
And those ones are cool, like from the upper deck. Holy Oh my goodness, I think a WrestleMania is on my bucket list. But nowadays, like I don't know any of the guys, so it's like you know, well,
You'd have to go for a good ticket.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like all the guys that like wrestled back when I watched, they're all old now, so it'd be new guys. But just for the spectacle of it, they go all out for WrestleMania, and especially now, like they have they do it on 2 days, so they go extra hard um, for WrestleMania, especially. So yeah, shout out to Stone Cold. I'm so glad I got to see him return. That was something I'll never forget. That was his first match in 19 years, dude. 19 years, and he came back and he actually put on a pretty good show with Kevin Owens. So, man, good on him for coming back and doing that, making my weekend. Um, Before we get to this week in sports history, TWIS. It's been a while, but I just got to mention Canada going to the World Cup this summer. That's another thing we're going to be. Yeah, that's another thing we're going to be watching a lot this summer for the first time ever. Is we're going to be watching a lot of soccer. So this summer is going to be it's going to be hopefully Oilers playoff run,
Jam packed.
uh, Blue Raptors playoff run, hopefully. The Jays, one of the best teams in baseball, set to be anyways, and the World Cup. So this is going to be a fun summer. Going to be hitting a lot of patios, watching a lot of these games. Going to be spending a lot of time downtown, especially during this playoff run for the Oilers. Downtown's going to be where it's at next month. Are you kidding me, dude? We're going to be downtown all the freaking time. Just I cannot wait, man. I remember when we were in when we had last had the playoff run. I mean, last year we got swept, so it wasn't much, right? But we don't have to talk about that. But the few years ago when we faced San Jose and then Anaheim, or was it San Jose? Yeah, yeah. And I remember just partying and going downtown in every game and just seeing the convoy of vehicles and everyone honking their horns, cheering out their window. I had the flag. Oh, I don't have the sunroof in the ride. So we have to go in your vehicle, get the flags out the window,
Oh yeah,
out the sunroof. I have to dig out the flags and the stick and all that.
let's get a big one.
Yeah, well, dude, I had the best flags. I had all three of them,
Yeah,
but I don't know what happened to that. So we might have to get another flag.
yeah. Put it right out the sunroof.
Yeah,
Go whipping.
yeah, 100%, 100%. So we'll do that. We'll be doing that next week or next month. And like I said, we'll be recording a lot of these because one thing I want to do too is like, believe it or not, it's almost coming up on a year of this week in sports, and I think in June it'll be a year. So I want to, preferably by the time it's like a year, I want to have like the 52nd episode out. So like I said, we'll be dropping them maybe a couple a week or something like that next month when it comes to the Oilers and the playoff run, baby. Stoked for that. Um, so Twish got a couple things here for Twish, and first of which was came from way back in the day. On this day, actually, in sports history. Where is it at? Here, I read this. I was like, holy cow. Okay, so April 5th, 1925. So that's 97 years ago. Yankees whipped the Dodgers in exhibition 69, but Babe Ruth collapses due to an ulcer back in 25.
Damn.
Just collapsed with an ulcer in the game. But I think he came back. I don't know.
Like
Obviously.
a stomach ulcer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they had the technology to know what kind of ulcer it was back then. I don't know. It just says ulcer here.
Well, what year was that?
1925.
Oh yeah, I didn't know technology.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
looks like an ulcer.
Yeah. Get back out there. In 1967, April 5th, Will Chamberlain sets an NBA record for rebounds. He had 41 rebounds. Oh my goodness, 41 rebounds. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, a lot of these records that Chamberlain had, like the 100-point game and shit, like there was no there's no video documentation of it. So like the scorecards and everything were kept, but I don't know. When some of the greatest records in sports are discussed, like the 100-point game is one of the best, but it's never really brought up. I think partly because there's no video footage, so that no one's seen it.
Someone put down a little extra pencil mark.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
But 41 rebounds, that's crazy. Like that, I don't know if that'll ever be touched ever. And in 1984, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar breaks Chamberlain's all-time career scoring record of 31,419 points. So yeah, he's the all-time scoring record. Or did James pass recently? I can't remember. So many of these records getting broken because so many good players are playing, and the level of athlete now it's never been better. In 1987, Wayne Gretzky wins his 7th straight scoring title. No surprise there. 7th straight though. That's freaking crazy. So he was still on the Oilers during that year. So yeah, he won 7 straight scoring titles with the Oilers. It's incredible.
Wow.
It's incredible. I think it might have been more actually. Holy shit. Yeah, John Stockton reaches 1,000 assist mark for NBA record 3 years in a row. It's pretty good. And yeah, I mean, there's other small things, but nothing major. Something that in my own personal Twish, from because it's been a little while since we last dropped an episode here, but oh yeah, well that was actually a while ago. Wayne Gretzky gets past Gordie Howe in March 23rd, 1994. He gets his 802nd goal, passing Gordie Howe's 801. One of the most legendary moments ever. I mean, that'll happen more than likely happen for Ovechkin in the next year or two, passing Gordie Howe, which is crazy to even think like he's gonna score 800 goals. Like what? Like that never happens. Like ever. And then yeah, speaking of those flags, um, March 29th, 2017, we went to an Oilers game. We were actually playing the Kings, and that's the game we clinched the playoffs, and that was when that got the whole party started. Because I remember after the game, people were outside honking the horns. We were partying it up, and they were giving out flags on everyone's seat, and there was three different colors: white, blue, and orange. And me and my buddy went around all the stadium and managed to get all three.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I made.
Like people just left theirs behind.
Well, and some of the seats were there was a couple seats that were empty, right?
Right.
So we kind of scoped them out. It was easy to scope them out because the flags were still on the seat, right? So we were able to like see them from across the way. So yeah, that kind of kicked off the partying and whatnot. And it's funny. One quick story about that, about getting those tickets. My buddy Richard won those tickets at the brew house. After I brought him to the brew house, I went to the brew house dozens and dozens and dozens of times trying to win these tickets because they give away tickets to an Oilers game every single Oilers game. They give away tickets to a future game. So I went there dozens. I even brought you there that one time. We got all hammered and watched that Anderson Silva fight when he broke his leg, and didn't win. Never won Oilers tickets ever. And then I bring Richard, one of the luckiest people I know in my life. Bring him to the brew house. Sure enough, he wins the tickets. I'm like, oh my god! So obviously it takes me, and it's the game that we can clinch the playoffs. So that was amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so stoked that I was able to go to that game because yeah, we clinched, and that kicked off the party that was 2017 summer. Before I finish here, just want to give a shout out to our boy Alfonso Davies from Edmonton here. He's named the 2021 CONCACAF Men's Player of the Year in soccer there. So congratulations to Alfonso. And he wasn't even on our team when we clinched going to the World Cup. I think he was out with injury or something of the sort. But yeah, he'll be on our team this summer at the World Cup. So go Canada, go! Go Canada, go! Go Oilers, go! Go Raptors, go! And let's go Blue Jays. Next time we talk, it'll be either on the weekend or next week, with hopefully some crazy huge news. Either way, there's a lot of stuff happening. So, on behalf of my producer Caleb, this is Josh Jacko, and I appreciate you listening to This Week in Sports. Adios.